Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to Hearthstone 4 as we are playing as Kaitlin, Mexico. So I expect that we'll likely be going to war with the Americans soon. I don't know how much longer it'll be, but you would think that they would be joining the Allies soon. It is 1941, middle of 1941, so I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the year they join the Allies. If not then maybe sometime in earlier mid 1932, or excuse me, 1942. So we'll likely have the war starting sooner rather than later. So we really need to start preparing for that conflict. You know, get more troops on the border, obviously, and building up the forts a little bit larger. Just trying to get prepared for this, and I do have a plan for them on what we're going to do, and I felt pretty good about the plan. Now I'm not so sure because I feel like I lost my personal strength, guys. Yesterday I had my my haircut cut for the first time since COVID, you know, because all the barbershops being closed. So I haven't got a haircut since, God, it was well before COVID that I got it, sometime in like November or December. And about every 6 months I typically get my beard done as well. Like I get it like trimmed up, and mainly just trying to get it to you know, be shaped better, since I've never been very good at shaping long beards. I've never been very good with that. So I have this barber do it, and I've been having him do it for about 2 years. He's been kind of shaping my beard, you know, again, like every 6 months when I get a haircut. And I had him shape my beard up since it had gotten incredibly long over COVID. I think it was well over a foot long, guys. I don't know, maybe like 14, 15 inches or something long. It was a pretty long, you know, total beard. And I just asked him to you know, shape it up as usual. Told him don't shave anything off. I'm not trying to shorten it, you know, unless it's just to make it look good or whatever. But you know, just mainly just trying to shape it. And then he cut my whole fucking beard off, man. Like the whole thing. He cut it down to about 2 inches. So my entire beard was cut off. I don't know what the hell was wrong with this guy, man. Like, again, I've used him for 2 years. And I was really surprised that he did that. And it sucks because I feel like I've lost my strength, man. I was in the gym the other day, last night. I just felt weaker. I know it's probably psychological, but I feel weaker. So now I think without my beard, I wonder if we can take on America. You know, kidding aside though, I do have a little bit of plan here, and what we're going to do, obviously we have our forts and we're going to get those bigger, make them larger forts. But I don't want to just try and drain them because, frankly, that's not very effective against America. You know, drain them of their manpower and equipment as they attack your forts because they have way too much. They'll drain us before we drain them, even if we are on the defense, I think. So we can't just do that. But we also won't be able to push forward because of the rough terrain and the rivers and the fact that they'll vastly outnumber us. So we need to do some tricky stuff. And the best way to do this is just completely eradicate divisions. So what I'm going to do is on different points of the line, I'm going to let them move forward properly. Let them move forward in certain points where we can easily cut them off. And one area I was thinking is right here, since this is already going to be a weak spot. It does have the level 3 fort, but it'll still be easier attacking that than, say, one of these ones. And so what you could do is you like let them go into here, but here's the one problem with this location is that there's a port right there, so you have to stop them from getting this port. And essentially you'd have to put troops in here, move your unit that's here, you know, either over to here or move them back. Let them take that, and then hopefully they take that, and then you have enough troops here to take this back and then eradicate them there. So that would be one potential location to do that. We could also do it over here. This would result in them having a mountain province, which would make it harder. But this one's got forts. I guess they both. This one had forts and mountains, so this one would be more difficult to do. But you can let them push forward here and then close it off right there, and then kill the units that are here. And the main advantage of these two locations is that it's going to be harder for them to, if they you know, put too many troops here and I can't destroy them or I can't get them cut off, then it's going to be very difficult for them to push any further forward because of the mountains here and the river, and then the same thing here. You got the mountains all the way around and the river. So those are two locations. Another one, because this one's kind of risky because of the fact there's a port right there where they could get supplied through. Another way to do it would be right here, and then let them come up along the coast and then cut them off, like, you know, right here, and then you got to kill them here in these two jungle provinces where they'll take very high attrition. So that's a possibility. There's no port right here. However, it does let them get very, very close to Mexico City. So this one's a little bit more riskier. So those are a couple of places we could do that. We could also do it here if we ended up defending this here. Could pull our troops back over to, like, you know, maybe this province right here, so we don't get that river penalty. Let them come up along here, and then you can try and take this port province here and then have them cut off this way. That also does mean you have to defend this province, though. But yeah, you could potentially get some troops cut off here, and just try and get their units destroyed enough that there won't be, adequate troops to defend. That's what I was thinking. So yeah, maybe we'll try that out. But for right now, let's go ahead and get some stuff done. Let's go ahead and build these forts up, because these take a long time to build to get the higher level forts. So we don't want to wait too long. So let's go ahead and just kind of like balance it. Level 3 forts first, and then we'll take a look at it and see how long that takes for us to get that done. So we'll just go with the level 3 forts, and then maybe we'll maybe we'll build it up more, or we'll start working on those plans, because we'll want forts in those locations. So we want to do that. And then the other thing we need to do is we need more units, guys. Frankly, we don't have anywhere near the number of units that we need. So we're gonna go ahead and deploy these guys here and get them put into this army, where we will set them up to train. I would also like to move the mountain troops to mountains. Right now they do not have them assigned to the mountain provinces. There's one right there, so we could just easily switch these two out here. And then I think that's the only... Oh, wait a minute, we have these ones here. So what we could do is have these guys moved right here. Just to make sure you have the mountain troops in the mountains. I don't know why the AI is not programmed to pay attention to that. It would be nice if they did, though. And then we need to go ahead and get some of these narco troops built. So before we do that, since we do have limited experience, I never removed the support artillery from here. I think I meant to, and then I don't know if I just didn't have the power to do it, but that'll give us a lot of guns back, so that'll be helpful. And in addition to getting all those guns back, I think we're actually losing a lot of guns because those were the garrison troops, which is something else we're going to look at here in a minute. And so I think we were losing a lot of guns, and due to the garrison casualties. So yeah, I didn't even realize I hadn't done that, so we definitely want to get that done. And then the other thing we need to do with whatever experience we have left, which is not much, is just go ahead and add another infantry unit here. We're going to get these guys up to probably combat with 10. Again, these are our smaller ones. And then we're going to also give them some engineer companies so that they can entrench. So I'm kind of considering giving field hospital 2s, but the main point of this unit is to not use much support equipment, since we have a lot of infantry equipment. So we still need one more battalion here, but we don't have enough experience, so just going to save that and then go ahead and get these guys training with what they got. And then we're going to want, I don't know, maybe like probably 10 of them. Yeah, probably about 10, I think, will be good. Remember, we do have to worry about manpower. We need to get these manpower laws changed. We've been using political power for so many different things in this series, so it has been difficult to keep that maintained. Trying to get these all these different design companies and advisors and getting our laws changed. Overall, just our political power is really short. There's so much stuff to do with it, and our stability is also, as you can see, has plummeted because of the war. So that's also affecting our production quite a bit. So I think we should change our occupation laws. And the reason for that is because we're going to be coring all this territory with those focuses and the decisions that they allow. And so when we core all this territory, we won't have this mechanic anymore. We won't have resistance. We won't have the compliance. And so building up compliance, which is the primary point of the civilian oversight, you also get some nice bonuses here where you don't need as many garrisons and they don't take as much damage. But that's the main benefit of civilian oversight, is that you're building up compliance. But we don't really need compliance since we're going to be coring it and it disappears, so I think we should change to something else. And somebody in the comments suggests that we go with harsh quotas to get all those factories that we have here that we're not really getting to use. The problem with harsh quotas is that when you hover over it, you'll see that the damage to garrisons is plus 50%. And we're already getting a negative 50% to the garrison damage here. If I can hover over this. Actually, it's negative 25%. So that would be a 75% change, basically resulting in us taking a lot more damage. And I don't think that it's worth it, because you lose a lot of equipment. I know it was rebalanced in some of the last patches, because it was really bad. If you guys remember in the Portugal and French series, we took extreme casualties from the garrisons, despite being on civilian oversight everywhere. We still took extreme casualties. There's many examples you'll find on the forum where people were taking more casualties from garrisons than they were from actual conflict. Like sometimes 3, 4, 5 times as much casualties. So this is actually quite significant because it's just draining your manpower and it's draining your equipment, and I don't think the amount of factories we're getting is going to be worth it. So I don't think we should go with that one. I think it'd be too costly to go with harsh quotas. So instead I think we should go with something a little bit, lesser, not going to cause so many issues. And so our choices would be the local police force, which the bonus of this is that you'll notice that it is a lot better than civilian oversight when it comes to damage to garrisons and required garrisons. So that'd be the main benefit of that. You also have less resistance, but you're not getting anything else with it. Secret police is not as significant when it comes to those two factors, garrisons and garrison damage, but you are going to get 5% of the factories and resources. Now there's not a lot of resources here, but the factories would be nice. We also have military governor. That's better for like resources, but it does get you manpower, so that's always nice. And then we have like martial law, which is again just resources. So I kind of think we should go with either local police force or the secret police. If we want those factories, then perhaps secret police. But you know what? I really feel like what we should be trying to focus on is less damage to garrisons and less garrisons being required at this point. I don't know that 5% of factories would be all that useful. It does have less resistance though. Yeah, that would actually be quite helpful if we have less resistance. I suppose we can try out secret police here. Yeah, I guess we'll go with secret police in all these locations and see if it actually generates us any factories. So we'll change them all up. I'm not going to change up the default one though. We will just change these ones up for now. All right, excellent. So we've got secret police now, and this should result in us taking less casualties. Because if you look at how many casualties we've taken, it's 2,000. It's not a lot. And then the equipment is the bigger thing because we've lost a lot of guns, a lot of artillery guns. Again, that's because I still have that artillery in the cab unit. Losing some infantry equipment, it's not much. Remember, much of this territory we just got, and the resistance isn't that high. So we're going to see that getting worse and worse. So I think that should help us out a lot, get us some more manpower, and will result in losing less equipment. So we've got that done. Let me check if these planes are up in the air. I believe I assigned them, but I couldn't remember. Yeah, we've got them assigned, and so they are now going to be helping us out in this conflict. I'm going to go and let this play and try and get this battle done, though I do want to change these guys up. Let's go and stop them from moving here, and let's move them over here. I realized it would probably be quicker to instead go this way, and then that's how we'll get over there. It's far better than going all the way down here and then back up, I think. So we'll do it that way, get these units on over here, and still calling people into the conflict. And Iceland joined the Comintern. Okay, remember they got war declared on them by the British last episode. We did get our oil revenue investment, or reinvestment, excuse me. That gave us 2 civilian factories, so that's going to be super helpful for building those fortifications. I don't think we need this right now. That might be something we get later, but let's get something that we really need. Which, what I'm thinking, we could use the dockyards, even though we're not building anything with them, because it actually helps us. Oh, we've already hit the 50 factories. Okay then. So we know what we're going for. We're going for research. All right, so we have those 50 factories, 52 to be exact, allowing us to get the next research slot. So that'll be super helpful. So we'll go ahead and finish up on this side here, sending all of them this way with the exception of one. Finish up here, and then again we will have to have this unit come all the way around here and attack up this way. Now I'm hoping one's going to be enough. I don't know if they have anybody on this side. One division might not be enough to take this territory if they have more than one. Maybe I should take a division and have him come on over here. I'm going to take the railroads on over there. Just to have a second unit, just in case. Just in case, guys. Alright, so we've got this taken here. Got that unit destroyed. These guys are all going to come over to this way. But do we want to do that? Okay, this is what we're going to do. I don't think there's going to be many units there. So we can go ahead and start putting these guys into the Purple Army so that we can get up to 3 units here. Let's make sure that I'm grabbing the right ones. Let's get 3 of these guys for right now. And bring them on over here, and then I'll get up to 24 divisions there. And then the rest of these guys can come on over to this location, with the exception of maybe like 3 of them. Or we'll keep over here, because the Americans could move troops over here. Remember, we have that focus that is in regards to the Panama Canal, so that we can try and get control of it without an actual conflict. We'll see if it works or not. We did get this military factory, so let's go and get it assigned. We do need more naval bombers. We only have 10. That's not going to be nearly enough to do any real damage to the American fleet. But I still feel like we got to get this civilian factory situation dealt with. As far as the rubber, it is affecting our planes, so we need to trade for the rubber. The steel is affecting the anti-air, so we could go ahead and trade for that as well. But I think we're gonna keep our civilian factory for right now. Let's go ahead and trade for the rubber. We'll trade. Man, I wish we could get more from the Brazilians, but yeah, they just don't have much for us. Have we got them into the faction yet? We haven't, so that might actually increase the amount that we could get from them. We still haven't got those submarines yet, so we just have to keep on building the damn convoys for now. But yeah, what I wanted to do, let's take a look at the decisions here and see how much this costs and why we can't do it. So our opinion is not high enough with Brazil, and I really want to get them into the faction. So I feel like we should do this here before we do anything else. I know there's other stuff that needs to be done with that political power, guys. I'm aware there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done, but I feel like this should be the focus, is getting Brazil in, because again, they're the biggest power in South America and they're not in our faction. So we're gonna try and get them in. We'll increase the rations just high enough to be able to do that decision, and then after that we'll do something else. We do have an operative that we can recruit, so let's go ahead and get a seducer and get her assigned. She could probably do counter intel and that'd be fine, but I really want to get our intel strength up with the Americans. It's just not high enough. So yeah, let's go and build another intel network, and we're gonna build this one up in California. I know that the more you assign, the less useful each one is, but as far as the one goes, it's not ticking up high enough. We're only at 47%. And I'd like to have more intel on exactly what the Americans are doing and what they have, so we can look at their troop numbers, how their troops are designed, and base our own designs off of that. I guess we can give these guys a bonus here. So now we're going through here. All right, interesting that we can now get through here. So I think it's because we are at war, and that was the reason why we couldn't go through there before. So we can now make use of the Panama Canal since we are not at war with the Americans, so we'll be able to get over here a little bit quicker. And we don't want to pull Colombia in until after our units are there, so that we can make sure that we're the ones that do the attack. It still results in the territory going to Colombia, but they don't get any war scores, so they don't feel that, yeah, we'll take that support equipment, so they don't feel that they deserve it. Ah, damn it. Looks like they got pulled anyway. Alright, we'll have to hope that they give it to us then. It's kind of a shame. That's not how I wanted that to go down. Because now they're going to get war participation, and they might see it as this being rightfully their territory. It seems that's not the case because they actually gave it to us. Okay, well that's great. So my worries were unfounded. So we did finish up with Panama. What we're going to do is we're going to take all these troops here that were heading over here and keep them heading over here. And that looks good. Yeah. So 7 divisions, probably overkill. I don't think we need that many divisions to deal with whatever troops the Americans end up sending here. As of right now, we can't see how many divisions they have, but I just want to make sure we win that little border conflict that's supposed to fire once we take that focus. We can invite the Brazilians in, so let's go ahead and do that now. We'll stop improving relations once they've accepted, just in case they turned us down. So let me see how we're doing on the rest of our equipment. So as of right now, we're not doing too shabby. We still lack the support equipment, of course, but yeah, that's not too bad. We could go ahead and put more into planes, and I think that might be what we're gonna do. Yeah, I think we're gonna put into planes. Did we ever get? Yeah, we still have the light tanks, so we could build those. That'd be an option to get ourselves some light tanks. But let's go ahead and get this assigned to a plane, guys. I feel like we need to get more planes out there. Obviously, more fighters would be useful. Let's do the naval bombers, though. I think that's going to be what we need the most. Soviet Union just declared war in Afghanistan. We expected that. And the Brazilians have accepted our invitation, so they are now in our faction, and thus we are going to stop improving relations with them. All right, awesome. So that did use up all of our political power. But yeah, that's actually fantastic. That results in us having almost all of South America. There are a few I want to join the wars. We will accept that. And there's still a few South American countries we don't have in the faction yet, so we're going to want to get them in if we can. I don't see the British doing any invasions. I don't see them getting very involved at all, actually, in this conflict. I'd be really surprised if they do. Now, as far as Cuba, I'm not sure if we should just invite them to the faction or if we should attempt to conquer them. As far as how many units they have, let's just take a look, see how difficult they would be. They probably wouldn't be too difficult. However, we would need to get the invasion transport ship tech, because we don't have that, so we can't actually do invasions. So we need to do that before we declared war on Cuba, but I think we do get a war goal against them, and our focus is. Colombia wants to send us support equipment. We're going to accept that, because we definitely need more of that. Okay, so Centralist Australia assumed control of the Southeast Asian colonies. Obviously not going to help them much, considering the fact that the Japanese have just been ravaging all that territory here. Japan just declared war on the Philippines, so that means that Japan will now be going to war with America, and thus America will be joining the Allies, and thus we will be at war with the Allies in probably a matter of weeks here, guys. So we need to get our troops up there now, unfortunately. We don't have the time to not move them up there now. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I think having all 4 of these guys here, just to make sure we take that real quick, and then I'll just have 1 division over here. Let's get these guys moving up here now, because we are about to be at war, guys. And we are actually at the cap here, so what we're going to want to do is just go ahead and keep these guys in the Red Army, but give them a new front line. See how we want to do it. Probably start putting them back where we plan on retreating, which is in this zone here. And so we'll just give them a fallback line for right now, and we'll put them right there. Because I have not fallen back off the forts. Now, the Americans are not defending their borders right now, so that's something to consider. I think we're going to go ahead and stretch our borders out a bit. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And we'll have to see what happens, but I do expect that war is going to start here in moments. So we should probably go down to speed 4 so that, you know, not too much time goes before we find ourselves in conflict with the Americans. Because again, I do expect that because yeah, they are at war with the Japanese now, and so they'll likely join the Allies. Though, let me take a look. Actually, the Japanese are not at war with the Allies. Interesting. So that means the Americans are not going to join the Allies. Not until the Japanese attack the British, which they will do. They'll do it for, well, yeah, they'll attack the Australians here. So yeah, they're going to need to attack the Australians, and the Australians are in the Allies. So they will attack to get that territory there. And when that happens, then the Allies will be at war with the Japanese, and then the Americans will join that conflict. Will join the Allies. We're going to take any lend-lease that anybody is willing to offer, since again we are really short on the support equipment and trying to get that dealt with. That's like where all of our factories are going towards right now, so I think it's imperative that we get that support equipment situation dealt with. Do we have enough experience? We do. So what we want to do is going to make the adjustment here with these guys, give them their last battalion, and save that. Now all we have to do is get them engineer companies now, so that they can get the entrenchment bonus. Now I'd love to get them field hospitals so they take less casualties, because manpower is going to be an issue likely for this entire campaign. But yeah, I don't think it would be good because of the fact that it's going to require support equipment. So until we get the support equipment situation dealt with, we probably shouldn't do that. Let's go and get this plane assigned. I feel like we need more fighters, because if we want to contend with the Americans, it's going to be necessary. Let's go and trade one more factory away. As of right now, we have 8 extra civilian factories beyond the first one building fortifications for us, trying to get us up to level 3 fortifications, because frankly, level 2 is not going to be enough. No Americans on the borders here because they're at war with the Japanese now, and they're not at war with us. We might actually be able to push forward a bit if they join the Allies. We could end up being able to push forward, and we will. We'll take advantage of any opportunities. We can always fall back to the fortified line if we get into trouble, which is exactly what we would do. We'd fall back to our fortifications. But really, there's no point on not pushing forward. So yeah, we'll try and take as much territory as we can. And again, I don't expect that we'd be able to hold that territory unless the Americans had sent, I mean, I don't even know where they'd send all their troops. There's not really anywhere to send them. The Americans do send troops to the Philippines, but they typically don't send like a huge number. and they often don't protect their islands very well. I wouldn't be surprised if they've lost all their islands here soon. Yeah, Japanese typically do a pretty good job taking their islands. They already have Marcus Island here. Wait, that's theirs. Marcus Island is theirs. Okay, so Wake Island would be one they'd take. Guam right here would be one they would take. The Phoenix Islands would also likely be a target here for them early on. And then they sometimes go after this one as well, Atu Island. National Spain has canceled Lend-Lease with us. We haven't been taking a look at the war here in Europe. Remember, the Germans have invaded the Soviet Union, and you can see that they're obviously having some success here. Yeah, they've pushed forward a bit. I do expect that the Germans will defeat them rather quickly, because that's what always happens when it's AI against AI. The Soviet Union typically doesn't do very well. So I expect that's exactly what's going to happen in this one. So we've got up to 24 divisions here. We need 2 full-size armies, I think, to fight the Americans. 1 for defense, and 1 that's going to be largely for attacking in specific locations, or just focusing on cutting off troops and destroying them, annihilating them. I suppose we can go up to speed 5 because, yeah, so far... Cairo has fallen. So far, there's no indicator that they're going to join the Allies, since we have to wait for Japan and the Allies to go to war with each other first. But once that happens, then you can bet that it's going to immediately result in the Americans joining the Allies. We did get mobile defense and some more defense for our infantry. That's going to be super helpful. With the dispersed support or the integrated support, I typically prefer the integrated support. I think it's a bit better, just because we often have support artillery in all of our divisions, so you're getting that soft attack for those, and it's not as significant as the 10% that you're getting here, because support artillery is nowhere near as good as the line artillery. However, this affects all support companies, so you're getting a total of 20 organization, and that's the main thing that actually ticks down the organization for your unit, since remember, organization is an average of all of the battalions. And artillery have a organization of 0. And so getting up by 20 is very impactful. It results in your divisions having significantly more organization. So that's why I like getting that one on that tree. Even though it does result in them not having as good a soft attack. So we got another dockyard. We still don't have our damn submarines built. Or excuse me, research. If you guys recall, we started researching the next submarine hull. We're about a month away. And then we'll build it. Once we get that, we'll pump all of our dockyards into getting those. We almost have special forces. And I don't know if we want to go down the next one. Yeah, I suppose we could go down the next one. I know that we also need to get ourselves the naval tech. Maybe we should do that first. Going after the transport ships. Yeah, you know what? Let's go after the transport ships first, because we can't do any invasions, which is what I want to do. I want to invade Cuba. And we're not really able to do that yet because of not having the tech. We are the spy master here, so we do have several operatives that we'll be able to get. Right now we're only getting 1. I'm surprised by that. I thought it was every 3. How many faction members do we have? I guess we'll take a look at that real quick. See how many faction members are in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus ourselves is 7. I thought we'd be getting 2 operatives from that. Is that not the case? Let me just hover over this and take a look. Oh, we are getting 2. Oh, okay. We're about to get a 3rd operative. Got it. That makes sense. So they have cancel and Lend-Lease. I'm assuming it's either because we're no longer at war, or it's because and did we not? Oh, that's right. They joined the Allies. That's right. We can't annex any of this territory. That's one thing to consider, is that we can't annex any of this simply because we're still at war with them. So maybe we should keep them, these 2, Costa Rica and Panama. Maybe we should keep them on civilian oversight, because I think even if you have a core, if you're occupying it rather than owning it, I think you still have to deal with this. So that's one thing I didn't consider. So we will change those 2 up. They're already on civilian oversight for Panama, and then Costa Rica will do the same. We'll start getting that, try and get the compliance up as high as possible. So the Philippines has capitulated. That was very, very quick. So that means the Americans will not be pumping troops into the Philippines. They might send some to their islands, but I do expect they'll keep majority of their troops here now. unless they decide to go on the offensive and start doing invasions. I guess we'll see. We'll have to see what they do here. But I do expect they're going to have a lot of troops here in the Americas, so we won't have that thing helping us, the lack of troops. So we're not close enough to 1942 yet, so I think we should go ahead and get that Special Forces tech. I'm going to see if there's anything that I'm missing here that I haven't gotten yet. Any techs that we would really like to have, or really ought to have. I don't think so. Really, we're lacking the damn army experience, because I got a few things that I want to do with our division designs, but we just don't have the army experience for it. So let's go ahead and get the special forces improved. I am going to go with, and I know we could use more mountain troops. Being able to have more mountain troops would be really, really helpful. So we could go with the expanded special forces so we could have more. I think the main thing we should really focus on, and I said this before in the campaign, is really focusing on getting, better troops, quality over quantity in this one, just because we're never going to outnumber the Americans. So let's make sure our units are better than theirs. So we're going to get that and improve the mountain troops. And I'm going to see if I can build any more, because we did build some troops. If we deploy these guys, we probably could. And I think that's what we're going to do. Let's go and deploy them. And they're going to be in their own separate line to defend these. And we could actually throw these 2 Red Army divisions into that line. So we're going to put them into their own army. Let's go ahead and give them a location to deploy to. They can deploy right there, I suppose. Let's go and deploy them. And then, again, we're going to create our own little separate army here. We'll put them onto the defensive army. We'll go ahead and give them a commander. Doesn't look like we have any with high defense, unfortunately. Yeah, there's nobody with a high defense. So it's really between these 3 here. And nothing when it comes to traits that's really going to affect our opinion here. So we'll probably want to go with the one with the best attack, Rodriguez. So place him in charge there, and then we're going to want to give them, we're going to get rid of this. What we'll do is we'll go and place these guys into this army. Get rid of this here, and then we want to create that line that goes all the way across the defensive territory. So also probably like right here where I plan on letting them in. But we won't be able to do that as long as we're holding this here. So that's one thing to consider. But yeah, let's go ahead and get our fallback line going. And see how we want to design this. We have 12 units in this army. So we have to make sure that it's 12 long. This will be 1, 2, 3. And then I think we're defending there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9. We could go ahead and increase it. You know what? We might not be fortifying. Yeah, we're not defending that one right there. So let's go up this way. Here we go. So that's where those 10 units will be located. Or excuse me, 12 units. Yeah, I forgot there's 12. So we could actually extend it out a bit more if we wanted to. But that's fine for right now. Because this Red Army is going to be getting increased. So I assume we're going to send these 2 back into the Red Army. So we could build more troops. But the problem right now is manpower. We need to get those manpower laws changed. I actually think that will be what we do next, is get it changed. We can also change over to war economy as well, because we are in conflict right now. So we could change the war economy, but I think getting the manpower laws changed is more important at this point. See if anything's happened here. Japan just declared war on the Dutch East Indies, so Japan is now going to be going to war with America, or excuse me, going to war with the Allies, and then the Allies are going to be pulling America in. So it's happening now. I knew it was going to be happening, that they would declare war on somebody. I expected the British first, but yeah, it's the Dutch East Indies that they decided to attack first. And that is going to result in, again, the Americans joining into the Allies very, very, very soon, guys. So I guess we're going to get this next tech selected now, which still pretty much in 1941. So I don't think we'll go for any 1942 techs. Let's see what our options are. We could go in and go for medium tanks and never get light tanks. As much as I love their speed, medium tanks would probably be more useful to have and not have a light tank unit. I know it would take a lot longer to build these up, but that'd be one option, is just to never use the speedy light tanks and instead just go straight up with the medium tanks. And you know what? I think that's what we're going to do. No light tanks and just go medium tanks, guys. So we would need to research that, and I think that's what we're going to do, because I don't think there's anything else that we really need at this moment. Could of course go for the planes here. Did we ever get that design company? We did not. We don't even have the focus that gives us the design company yet. Could get the research speed for the atomic research. That just takes so long to get, though. So let's go and do the medium tanks so we have those. And I think we'll go ahead and start building those too, because we should be out of our support equipment issues. Yeah, we're out of the hole there. So some more people being called into the current conflicts. So let's go back to 5 factories for support equipment, because we still are going to need it. And then go ahead and start building what we need the most of. We're really good on infantry equipment. I know we need to get it updated though, so we're going to put 1 more factory into that. And then let's go ahead and put, we know we're going to build the medium tanks once we get those. We don't have them yet though, so can't get them building. Could go ahead and start working on the anti-tanks, I suppose. Yeah, let's go ahead and do 1 to the anti-tanks so we have that started. I guess we'll go ahead and pump these up to here. And then we're going to probably want to get more planes. I don't really want to focus on close air support, because we got to make sure that we can seize control of the skies first, which means we need more fighters. And we need the naval bombers more to stop their navy. So let's go with the fighters first. We do still have these guys flying overhead, which is unnecessary. Let's go ahead and bring them, well, could use them for this attack here if the Americans still have troops here. They have moved their troops out, so it should be fairly easy to take that. So let's just move these guys up to here now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have them stop that. We're going to go ahead and increase their numbers up to 100, so they'll start getting those ones out of the stockpile. And then we're going to train both of these. Have them both training. And in fact, let's just go ahead and have them train until they no longer need to. Although that will stop them immediately until they get the some more planes. The close air support, I mean. And they do have more planes. All right, excellent. So it did stop them, though, so we have to start it back up. There we go. All right, so we'll get those guys trained up. When the Americans join the Allies, we'll have to pull our ships back in. So we got to keep our eye on that. Again, I think we should probably go down to speed 4, because I really don't want to miss an opportunity. And we do have some resistance in Costa Rica. That's okay. I wonder how much manpower we're currently using for our garrisons. It'd be interesting to see here how much total manpower that we're using. I thought there was a way to check your total manpower. Maybe not, though. Maybe you got to look at it this way. But yeah, I could have swore there was a way you took a look at the total manpower that you're needing. But overall, it's not a lot. You can see here it's probably about, oh, I don't know, maybe 8,000 manpower at most. Somewhere around there. Japan is, of course, calling everybody into their conflict with the Allies. And this will be interesting to see what happens. We have like just a crazy conflict going right now. Where you have the Japanese at war with the Axis and the Allies, but not the Comintern. You have the Comintern at war with the Axis and the Allies, and again, not the Japanese. We'll take this non-aggression pact. And then you have, and there we go. United States should join the Allies. I was going to say you had the United States doing their own thing here. But that is not the case now, because they are now part of the Allies, so they will get beat and pulled into this conflict in mere moments. So we need to be ready for this war. Should be happening at any moment now, as soon as they pull them into all overall conflicts. We did get our 3rd operatives. Let's go and hire somebody, see who we want. I guess we'll probably go with the tough guy, Gomez here. And I almost think we should just go ahead and assign him, keep him doing this here. Now, we could instead look at the diplomatic pressure to getting some of these other countries to joining us, joining into our faction. And I suppose we could do that. I think that's what we're going to do, actually. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the diplomatic pressure. So who's all not in our faction yet? Let's just take a look. So Bolivia, Paraguay, they're communist. I really don't want them to join the Comintern, so hopefully they won't. I think Bolivia is probably the next one we'll want to get. There's also Ecuador. I suppose we could work on them too. Just looking at who's like closer to joining the faction, that's what we should look at. So we're negative 175 there, and negative 292 there. How about Chile? They are, where is this at? Invite faction. Negative 292. So it does seem like Ecuador is the closest one. Oh no. Excuse me. Bolivia is the closest one. So I suppose we could work on them there, but it's so far away. I really don't think that's gonna be all that effective. So you know what? We're just gonna keep them on counter intel for now. Because yeah, we were really far away from it. It's, you know, they're not gonna want to join our faction. The only way to do it, I think, is through those decisions where they're very, very likely to do so. We got some non-aggression pact offers from the Japanese faction, which we will accept. And we also have a decision available So war propaganda, which we want to say we don't need to be notified of. It's throwing me off because usually that's up at the top. But yeah, it's down here now because of all these other things we have here. So with our stability so damn low because of the war, we really are going to need to do something about getting that stability up higher. However, we have so much stuff that we need to get. We're just going to say we don't want to be notified of these for right now. We will have to take them again later, though. But right now, we have a lot of other things that need to be done. And most importantly, changing our laws. Both the conscription laws and our current our current economic law. So we want to get both of these changed up here. That's going to be a total of 225 political power needed. Well, let me see. Yeah, this is 112 too. And if we wanted to like just go straight to extensive, I guess there's really no benefit of doing so. Might as well just go with the limited first since it's the same cost otherwise. So yeah, we'll want to change over to limited for right now. Go and accept these packs. We should also take a look and see how we're doing on getting the forts built. Yes, we actually are done and now we're working on repairing, so we don't want to do that. So let's go and continue at forts, guys. I almost want to get like a line of forts here just to, defend this. But again, we're going to be pushing forward most likely across the front, so that's probably not necessary. Let's get level 2 forts here since I've decided to defend it, but we probably won't go any higher than that. And then after this, I think we're going to go with the level 3 fortification, or excuse me, go up to level 4 fortifications. I want to get up to level 5. I think that's going to be the only way to really stop them here. We'll have to wait to do it there. We'll have to wait because they're currently still building that level 3. So let's keep our eye on it. And they'll be finished on the 28th of October, so it's a matter of days here. And then we're going to assign them to build the next the next fortification up. And we'll be very close to getting up to the level 5s. Still training up these planes here. This tactical bomber wing's really unnecessary. Probably don't even need to have them around, but we'll keep them. It's fine. But yeah, getting these guys trained up here. And again, hopefully we'll be able to control the skies here. If the war starts now, we won't. We probably won't even put our planes in the sky just yet, just because we don't have the numbers yet. We could go ahead and increase these numbers here, though. Get them up to... We'll just go ahead and say go up to 200. And they'll take any planes that they can out of the stockpile. We have another non-aggression offer, which we will accept. Alright, guys. So yeah, at this point, with these 5 units, probably unnecessary. We could move some of them, but I think for right now, we'll keep them here, just in case the Americans put troops here. We absolutely have to get control of the Panama Canal to stop the Americans from being able to move their ships and troops through here. I think that's pretty important. One other thing I think we could do here is with this army that we have here, which we could go ahead and change up their color, I suppose. Maybe change them up to, I don't know, like green or something like that. And what I think we should do here is go ahead and move like 1 unit to defend that province right there. Yeah, I think that would be good. Just to make sure it's not like easy to take this, because I would still like to attempt to let these guys in here and try and cut them off. Now again, they have to go all the way down here. You can't just have them take that because that's a port. So it will be kind of difficult to do, I think, to make them go all the way down. But we might be able to do it. Might be able to make it happen. So we'll defend with 1 division there just so they can't take that port. Because otherwise, there's nothing you can do here in Baja California because they'll just have the port here. Now, it's not a large port, so they wouldn't get a lot of supply through there. But they would get enough. They would get enough. We do have to protect our own ports as well. So we're going to have to set up troops to do that. I suppose we can go ahead and get these guys. Well, we're just short. I want to change them up before we build any more of them. I want to get them changed over. And frankly, we haven't changed our manpower laws yet, so we probably shouldn't do anything with them. As far as support equipment goes, we're sitting at 200 something, so that wouldn't even be enough for all those divisions if we give them engineers. I'm surprised that the Americans haven't been pulled into the conflict just yet. It would be nice if they did because they're not defending their territory right now. So we did get the television innovators. That is a research slot with the 1 research bonus for electronics. So that's going to be super helpful, finally having our 5th research slot. So almost right as we hit 1942, actually. So we could go ahead and go with this one. This is more mobilization speed, or fascism. Not all that helpful, honestly, but it does allow us to go down here and get the civilian factories and one of these bonuses, which that one would be nice for the manpower. We could go with the stuff that allows us to integrate. The problem with integration is the fact that these decisions also cost political power, which we are extremely short on. Could seize the Panama Canal here. This can be bypassed if we just take control of it. I'm kind of interested to see what happens there, so I almost want to go ahead and do it. Let's see what other options are over here. Yeah, I kind of want to do that, man. Go ahead and just see what happens. Only 35 days. And it's a decision, Operation Just Cause. Again, though, all this stuff does cost political power that we don't really have right now. We don't actually have the political power to get that design company. And we're already set to get other things with our political power. So I think what we should do is get something else, something that doesn't require political power for us to get the advantage from, which is the reason why we're not doing Integrate South or the Seize the Panama Canal, because I assume that will take political power too. And so I think we should deal with the situation here. So we have 3 possible choices here, which focus we want to go with. Now, naturally, you'd expect us to do this one, since the Germans are fascists as well. However, this is not the best one for us. This results in us giving oil to the Germans to give them use of that oil there, which I don't really want to do. And we get these licenses, but of course, we can build these, but now we have to actually build them with our factories. Really, the only thing we're going to get immediately is a research bonus for armor technology, and that helps. But again, we're giving up oil for that. So I don't think we're going to go that route. I think we should go with either one of these, even though we're not going to be going democratic or communist. We're not going to go for any of these, so it doesn't matter. I'm not going to do New World Order because we're not going to join the German faction. Obviously not doing that one for the same reason. And then we're not going to do this one either. I don't see any reason. This just lets us join the Allies. So no interest in doing that either. So it doesn't matter which one we do, just based on what we want. Now, I don't know what this will grant them, because it says they get the event Mexican compensation. So I don't really know what that's going to grant them, but I assume they would lose it once we went to war. So I think we should go for that one, because 5% stability would be more useful than 5% war support. We're already high on war support, and that's going to just keep ticking up. Typically don't have too many issues keeping high war support. Stability, though, is a major issue for us, guys. We are very low right now because of the war, which that's gonna stay that way until we defeat the Allies. So I think we should go for this one to get that base stability up higher. You got to think about how much political power that's saving us. That's like almost 2 decisions, which use 75 political power. That's 150 political power essentially that we're getting in a way when you look at it from that direction. I think we want to go ahead and start working towards 1942 techs. Again, I don't want to get planes since we don't have the companies, and it's cheaper to build the crappier planes, so we better get more of them out there. I know they're not as good, but I think that's okay. And I think we should just go ahead and go with the 1942 tech here, because we actually have a research bonus, so we can get it fairly quick, considering, and it's not that far ahead. So let's go ahead and do that. 101 days, so we can research faster. I think it'll be worth it, and plus we'll be done with those techs now. Though we don't have. I haven't gotten any of the radar techs yet, so I would like to get those. I think that would help both our planes, in battles against their units. Kiev has already fallen, as well as trying to sink their ships. So I would like to get radar, but we don't really have the factories to build them. So really no reason to get those right now since we have other things we're focusing on. Let's go ahead and say we're not wanting to be notified of that. We're almost to 112, guys, so we can change up that. One of those 2 laws. Again, we're probably going to go with the conscription law first. I'm going to accept that there. We are starting to see our allies come up over here, Brazil specifically, coming over here to help us defend this territory, which is very good news. I'm glad to see that. We still need to get the ports defended, though. The ports are not defended yet, so that's something to be concerned with. Again, though, until I get more manpower, I don't really feel comfortable building any other divisions just yet, because 42,000 is not much. We'll burn through that with war with the Americans probably fairly quickly. Though I suppose we are about to change, so you know what? Yeah, I guess we could go ahead and change it up. Do we have the army experience? Because we might want to do that first. We're almost there. Oh no, one of our generals fell ill. Yeah, you know what? I think we're going to go ahead and change this up first. We got like 1 more tick here, and then we'll have 10 experience, and then we'll be able to get this done. So we're wanting to change up the narcos. and go ahead and get them the engineer company so that they can entrench a bit better. That does result in them needing 30 support equipment each, so that'll probably burn through a lot of our support equipment that we had stockpiled. But yeah, we go ahead and start building these troops now. We want to get probably several more of these. Again, these are going to be for defense, defending the ports. Let me see how many ports we have that need to be defended. So obviously we already have one defended there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a lot. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Good God, 17, 18. All right, so we're gonna need like a whole army of these damn guys. So that's unfortunate. But we'll get as many as we can. Yeah, we're not even gonna build. We'll just do 5 for right now. 5 units and getting those guys trained up. And they'll be defending ports. Again, I am worried about until we get the American Navy destroyed, which is going to take a very long time until we get like a good-sized naval bomber force. It's going to take us quite a while to get them completely destroyed. And until we get the Navy destroyed, we're going to be open to possible invasions. And we're going to have to just defend every single port just to make sure they can't win. And even then, 1 division per port might not be enough. Yeah, that's definitely could end up being too few. But I'm surprised that they haven't been pulled in the war yet. I expected that to happen by now, but it hasn't. And I feel like it might be better if they did get pulled into the war at this point, so that we could take this territory while it was undefended. I mean, how much could we take, before they were able to react to it? And we could take their oil from them. The Texas oil, that's a big deal to the Americans. Without it, they will start having issues, I think, trying to keep their Navy completely supplied. We don't have a war goal against them, so it's not like we could just declare war. And I don't even know if that's the best way to go. I mean, yeah, it probably would be, because there's no American troops anywhere on this border, which is strange. You would think, considering the fact that the Allies, the faction the United States is in, and we're going to turn this up, because I don't know when this is going to happen. But yeah, you'd expect that, because their faction is at war with our faction, that they would join there. We bypassed the Liberty and Justice for all. I wonder if that has any effect, if we have opened up any focuses because of that. We can get the Aztec Eagles. Does that do anything for us? Yeah, it looks like we get research bonuses for aircraft and air doctrines. We just have to be at peace with the United States. And that would result in an opinion increase and that we can send volunteers. Yeah, I don't really see any reason not to do this one while we still can. I don't know if we'll be able to stay out of war for 70 days. But yeah, that would actually be a good thing. Again, we don't have the political power to do anything there, and we do have the political power to do something. I need to spend that. So I didn't realize that all of these have the bypasses. You know what? I think somebody might have told me that too. That being in a faction bypasses these 3 so that you can go down to this one. So yeah, we could have went down to this one to get all those fortifications, and that also has the execute the interior defense plan. So that would have been quite helpful to have. Yeah, because then we'd have defensive plans for both. So probably would have been better to, well, I guess go with this one. Yeah, it would have been better to go with this one, bypass that one and go with this one. But you know what? While I would have liked to have all those fortifications built, then obviously it would have been helpful to have. I think it's fine that we go down this route. You know, if we can make it even more worth it by not just getting the stability here, by also getting 2 research bonuses, I think we need to. And we can only do it for a short time. So let's go for that one, guys. 2 research bonuses would be nice to have for aircraft, since we will likely be focusing on that soon. So let's go and get the limited conscription so we can build more troops. That'll start giving us more troops soon. And we're going to build more of these guys. I don't think we'll have enough to build. Yeah, we'll just build these 2 here for right now, since we don't have any more manpower until we start seeing that tick up. We did get the transport ships, so that means we could technically now do a naval invasion if we so desired. Let's go ahead and see what we want to get next. It's probably going to go ahead and go with the 1942 text now. Yeah, I think we got everything. So let's go for 1942 text, guys. Let's go ahead and start with the infantry ones, I think. We'll go with the passive bonuses first. Get those support weapons 4s. That'd be nice to have, I think. And how far until we get those tanks built? We're 57 days away. So what we're going to try and do is get to the end of 1941 here, get into 1942. And Brazil, they're still pretty far away from taking leadership. we're good. We don't have to worry about that. I do think we'll be able to maintain leadership of the faction. Shouldn't have any issues with that, guys. I don't expect to anyways. So getting to the end of the year here, and then we're going to end the episode. Back up on manpower. I almost want to wait after we get the 10 divisions. I want 10 more. And then after that, I think we're going to just wait and see how high it gets before we spend any more of it. Since I don't know where we're going to be at, and we do need a nice little bit of manpower in the stockpile. If you can stockpile manpower, just so that we, can replace losses here once we actually start fighting the Americans. So yeah, we're doing well. As far as the fortification system goes, this is how we're looking. We've gotten 4s in a couple provinces. We shouldn't get them here. Again, we're trying to get to 5, and watch us not even need these because we get to a good border that we're able to hold. Now, I do not expect to just be able to, ravage their land and take everything, because of course they're going to send troops here to defend it and to push us back, and they probably will push us back, but maybe not. Maybe we'll be able to get to a good defensive position. And what I really want is Texas and California, at least half of California, getting these areas and all the beautiful factories that would be located there. So yeah, I would like to get like maybe like here, like this would be our line. I'd like to get up to that before they bring troops over here. I don't know if we would be able to or not. We don't have any fast troops, unfortunately. We never got anything built yet. And I didn't expect to. I thought the tank units would be something that would be built after the war started. Because, obviously I knew that we wouldn't have the production for that just yet. And we're really focused on getting like infantry for defense out here. But soon we'll have those medium tanks ready, and I don't know if we're going to start building them immediately, because we could also wait until we get the 1941 medium tanks before we start building them. We might go ahead and put one factory towards them and just have old tanks, I suppose. Yeah, I guess that wouldn't hurt. And that also allows us to get our production efficiency up a little bit. I know we end up losing a lot of it when we change to the next version, but you're able to keep some of it. So that's going to be the end of today's episode. I kind of expected the war to start with the Americans this episode, and it didn't. They, for whatever reason, have not joined the conflict with us, despite being in the Allies. So that's been interesting and surprising that they haven't. You can see that they're not at all interested in having a non-aggression pact with us or anything like that. So I do expect we'll have war eventually. Probably next episode. That's what I'm gonna say. Next episode, we should hopefully see conflict with the United States. And I say hopefully because, again, I really want to attack them when they don't have any territory here. And I guess there could be reason for us to move down towards here so that we can get the war goal and do the Panama Canal one first. I think that's what we're gonna do next. After this, we'll do Panama Canal, and I don't know. Maybe we might go after the war goals to get the Americans pulled in. But there is advantages to us waiting. The longer we wait, the higher our forts get, the more troops we have, and the more equipment we have, and just overall, the better off we're going to be in the war. So there is advantages to waiting. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. Do you think we should wait as long as possible until the Americans finally come in, or until we're definitely ready? Or do you think we should take advantage of the lack of troops on the border and just try and get into the conflict as soon as possible to try and take some of their land while we can? I did just realize after turning off the recording that I did not build our submarines, man. We should have done that already, and I just completely neglected it. So let's go ahead and do that real quick here on this episode, because I know everybody will be commenting about it if I don't. But like, you forgot your submarines, man. And I know. We've got to get these built. And again, this is pretty easy and quick for us to do as well. And we're just going to call them attack submarines, attack subs, whatever. And let me see. Yeah, we could call them Aztec subs, just for fun. And this is the 2s-A. All right, so let's go and say that we got plenty of Navy experience, of course, and this will allow us to go ahead and start building these. Yeah, I should have did this, guys. I just neglected. We really don't even need any going towards convoys, honestly. And there's no efficiency, so you know what? Let's not even build convoys. Let's just put all of our dockyards into getting some submarines pumped out there. And then where do we want them to go? I don't know where our largest port is. We do want them on this side, so let's build them right there. Or we can build them here as well. We'll build them right there. Alright, so we'll get the submarines built. That does require a lot more steel, so we'll have to trade for that with the Germans. Unfortunately, another one of our civilian factories going towards them. Alright guys, I wanted to do that on this video because I know a lot of people would have commented about it if I didn't. So we'll go and end it here. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Read and reply to all comments. Love talking to you guys. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching.